Ah, yes. Picking the team, planning the caper through a snazzy montage, watching well-laid plans go to shit, and figuring out insane ways to escape the mess of your own creation. It already feels like summer. This year's newest entry into the genre, Ocean's 8, starts playing across the silver screens this weekend. So we decided to get into a room and yell at each other until, again, battered, bruised, and a bit broken, we had our picks for best thrilling crimes of all time. Strap in, this is Gamma Ray, and these are our favorite heist films. 1 second, hold on. Yep, I put a record scratch into the edit so they know I meant it. Before we get into this, we know you're gonna leave a snarky comment about Reservoir Dogs because it's not on our list, spoiler alert. We talked about it and decided it's not really a heist film because it strongly focuses on the aftermath of the crime way more so than the actual mechanics and execution of it. It's a great movie, we agree, but it's not on the list.
He's just gonna decide.
So chill the fuck out.
Out of the fucking blue.
Deep breaths.
To rip us off.
Back to fun music. For our first pick, we're going back to the beginning. Back in 1903, the Great Train Robbery virtually invented cinema as we know it. For real, it was the first time anyone cross-cut, moved the camera, or shot on location. Look it up. Since then, film and crime have been inseparable. Maybe it's the escapist appeal of outlaws, people's hatred of banks, or that act of stealing stuff is somehow distinctly cinematic. But the form has been consistently popular for over a century now. The genre evolved from the teens through the 30s, experimenting with different elements that we now associate with the genre in films like Raffles, Outside the Law, The Unholy Garden, and Ninotchka.
You're very talkative.
But it was in 1950 that John Huston's noir, The Asphalt Jungle, brought it all together. The film is a bit off in places and can be faulted for some didactic, moralistic dialogue.
Sometimes men get greedy.
But in the end, it holds up strong. For Huston, it's clearly power, not law-breaking, that corrupts. So, while the film's plot has become pretty much the heist film template, it's details like the corruption of the police force and the careful characterizations of the gang members that keep the proceedings fresh. Plus, it also has an early and notable performance by Marilyn Monroe.
Haven't you bothered me enough, you big banana head?
Your parents know her. Being such a staple of the medium since the beginning, it's not surprising that some of today's auteur directors have taken a swing at it. Wes Anderson's Bottle Rocket, David O. Russell's Three Kings, excellent choice, Tarantino's Jackie Brown, and most recently Edgar Wright's Baby Driver, all bring each filmmaker's unique style to the table. So, next up at number 9, we're jumping to 2006 to a film that picked up what Huston put down.
And I never repeat myself.
Spike Lee's Inside Man! Yes! The film gives the audience insight into cop and crook alike, while withholding vital information masterfully, leading to some of the best cinematic reveals and one of the most brilliantly clever plots in heist history. It may be a bit far-fetched at points, but it is effortlessly entertaining, and stellar performances, crafty editing, and Spike Lee's love of the city and distinctly New York style take the film to unexpected heights. Also, did you realize the way that they have pizzas and they put the listening devices in the pizzas? That broke my mind. The cops are really clever.
And therein lies the rub.
Speaking of our directors, our number 8 pick is going to surprise no one. Steven Soderbergh has left a pretty defining stake in the heist movie genre. While he dipped his toes into the stylish crime world in 1998 with Out of Sight, and even more notably, recently put a refreshing spin on it with Logan Lucky, we still have to give the title to 2001's Ocean's 11. This fun and flamboyant touch-up of a classy, but I'm just gonna say it, fairly mediocre 1960s Rat Pack flick combines a glittering superstar cast with a clever high-wire Vegas casino caper, which not only far surpasses its original, but also revitalized the genre as a whole going into the new millennium. While some may argue that 2004's Ocean's 12 is a looser heist flick indebted to the films of the European New Wave that surpasses the original with its meta-narrative commentary and experimental... You know what? Those people are absolute idiots. Ocean's 12 is stupid, simply for the reason that they comment on the fact that Julia Roberts looks like Julia Roberts, and then nobody fucking talks about. Fuck you, okay? We still fall the hardest for 11's on-point ensemble dynamics, Clooney and Roberts' witty conversations, and undeniable chemistry.
Funny, I never got a check.
And a now iconic, perfect ending. Come for Brad Pitt and Julia Roberts. Stay for Brad Pitt, high as fuck, eating everything that's not nailed down. Every single scene Rusty's eating, check it out.
You suicidal?
It's the exception that remakes are better than the originals, and number 7 is here to prove it. While we fought over Norman Jewison's 1968 heist/romance hybrid, The Thomas Crown Affair, a dazzling, irresistible slice of 60s pop escapism, shot through a subtle undertow of dark cynicism, topped with the electric chemistry from Steve McQueen and Faye Dunaway,
Try me.
we couldn't resist the Cockney charm of young Michael Caine in 1969's The Italian Job. I am not going to do a Michael Caine impression. Hit it with the Michael Caine!
You're only supposed to blow the bloody doors off.
The plot is simple. An accented Lothario travels to Italy to boost some gold. I wish that was the story of my life. His means of getaway? Red, white, and blue Mini Coopers that have since become British cultural icons. Plus, thanks to Hays Code's censorship disallowing criminals from getting away with crime, no matter how much we may root for it, The movie ends on what's either a frustrating or brilliant note. The film was certainly ahead of its time, spurring a whole slew of heist films involving roller coaster-like car chases. It's likely the Fast and Furious franchise wouldn't exist without it.
Now what would you like?
And it's added a well-balanced touch of humor that made it shine.
Everything.
Speaking of humor, the heist comedy is more rare, with most choosing to simply sprinkle the jokes but keep the overall film more serious. Recently, the most notable attempt is probably Marvel's Ant-Man, but back in 1951, the Lavender Hill Mob gave birth to the subgenre with a film that still holds up. One of the very best of the Ealing comedies, it stars Alec Guinness as a timid bank clerk who comes up with a plan to steal gold bullion from his workplace. Keep your eyes peeled for a young Audrey Hepburn, too. Nice. Originally conceived as a straight drama, it was infused with comedic gold by director Charles Crichton, who at age 78 co-directed our pick, A Fish Called Wanda. If Lavender Mob defined the genre, Wanda perfected it. The film revolves around the most classic theft of all, the jewelry heist, and combines the classic style of Crichton with the masterful timing of Monty Python's John Cleese, who wrote, co-directed, and stars in the film. In the end, you get the funniest heist movie in cinema history. Next up at number 5, The Killing. Nope, not the Danish TV show. Nope, not the subsequent American remake that didn't answer anything in season 1 that was infinitely frustrating. But Stanley Kubrick's oft-forgotten The Killing. Shot in black and white, the film centers around a thief who just got out after a 5-year sentence and plans to rob a racetrack on the day of a massive race. The film shows Kubrick's obsession with chess, I didn't know that, by crafting a heist full of interconnected moving parts narrated in a no-nonsense newsreel style. We tensely follow each character to their position just before the critical moment, and once they're set, the pieces start flying around the board in a sequence full of trademark tracking shots. To take it over the top, the film is full of playful old-school banter, a knuckle-biting edit years ahead of its time, and the second-to-last scene is simultaneously beautifully shot, deliciously ironic, and totally gutting.
Unstoppable.
No, I figured it
There's
out.
sadly too few films that feature
Money
female
makes your
protagonists.
dreams come
William
true.
Wyler's 1966 heist comedy, How to Steal a Million, may have been intended to be all about the frothy chemistry between Audrey Hepburn and Peter O'Toole, but it's really her vehicle, and not surprisingly, she shines bright. Like a diamond. I'm so sorry. That said, our pick is the 1996 drama directed by F. Gary Gray, Set It Off. The film is about a group of down-and-out best friends who start robbing banks, like you do. Some do it for personal glory, some for vengeance, and some to ultimately try and just better their lives. Played by Jada Pinkett Smith, Queen Latifah, Vivica A. Fox, and Kimberly Elise, this quartet caper is much deeper than your average action flick, exploring how racism, sexism, and classism conspire to create dire circumstances that lead them to a life of crime. This film gives you a lot to think about, while the women entertainingly don sunglasses and wigs to pull off their heists.
Let's set it up.
And yes, that scene in Girls Trip is a callback to this early Pinkett-Latifah collab. That's called a throwback. As per usual, it's getting harder to only pick 10 things, and for number 3, things got pretty heated. While we wanted to talk about the grand, complex, and must-see Heat by Michael Mann, the brutality, sensuality, and honesty of 1967's Bonnie and Clyde, or even the color-coded thief names from 1974's intense Taking a Pelham 123, later homage by Tarantino. But we just had to give it to Sidney Lumet's 1975 Dog Day Afternoon. Based on real events, the film follows Al Pacino as a Vietnam vet who, with a group of cohorts, robs a bank in order to finance his male lover's sex change operation. It's remarkable for the honest, cliche-free way it depicts a gay character, even now. That said, homosexuality isn't the focus. Lumet is interested in celebrity the way the media and the people of New York vilify and celebrate Sonny's plan, and he makes sure to give you a lot to think about. Combining a handheld documentary feel, Frank Pearson's superb screenplay, and master-level editing from Dede Allen, the film is impeccable in its craft. You're right, it doesn't fit the genre's fun and flirty conventions, but it's probably the closest to capturing what a heist would actually look like.
Okay, who goes?
At number 2, we have the mother of all heist films, the one that tops everyone's list and is name-dropped constantly by that friend at parties, 1955's Rififi. Jules Decene's Rififi remains the template for heist and showcases a centerpiece sequence that no one has topped yet. The plot is standard stuff. 4 guys target a jewelry store, plan the perfect job, and things don't go quite as planned. But the 30-minute complete silent heist brilliantly throws viewers right into the heart-pounding, tension-filled robbery, and it is incredible. I will say no more. Don't even watch the rest of this video until you see the movie. I'm kidding, please finish, we need the engagement. Before we get to number 1, just want to make you wait a few more seconds. Don't skip forward, don't do it. I just want to throw in some honorable mentions, okay? This rant is becoming standard, but there's just too many good things in the world to not talk about, so if you haven't seen them, please check out Snatch, The Bank Job, The Town, Sexy Beast, and Inception. I'll keep it there, even though there's so many more. So finally, for number 1, we wanted to pick something that embodied all the pieces of what we thought made a great heist film. We almost went with the masterful crime depicted in Jean-Pierre Melville's Le Cercle Rouge from 1970, another 25-minute no-dialogue sequence. We were tempted to go with complex twists and ensemble perfection from 1995's The Usual Suspects. Oh, good one. But in the end, we went with 1974's Best Picture and Best Director winner, George Roy Hill's The Sting.
Sorry I'm late, guys. I was taking a crap.
This 5-act caper combines the smart orchestration of the multiple layers of deception with the panache of Robert Redford and Paul Newman's legendary charm, clever banter, and simple class. Seriously, Robert Redford and Paul Newman in that movie they're so good. Oh my God. Set to vibrant ragtime music. It's way too complicated to explain here, so just know the film is dazzling, unpredictable, and well deserving of the top spot. If you don't believe us, just go watch it. My dad made me watch it when I was a teenager, and I was like, what the hell are we doing? And holy shit. I dressed in an obnoxious suit for like a whole week after this movie. Go watch it. The video's over. Don't stick around for the call to action. This movie's incredible. Thanks again for tuning in, and make sure to let us know what your favorites are. Or if we didn't mention something you desperately want us to talk about, bring it up. Like, share, do all those things, and make sure to subscribe to Gamma Ray for more awesome content. See you next time.